Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a follow-up to the Stamp Wars Littles. I made two cards in this video and here they are. I made one with silver and I made one in black. And here are the tools and supplies I'll be using. So I have the VersaFine ink, Versamark ink, my anti-static tool, as well as some embossing powders in both clear and silver. And Nancy from Nancy Stamps was the one that provided the stamp to us in the Stamp Wars Littles, and she also provided some patterned paper, so I'll be using those to make my cards for today. And here is the stamp. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's from Lavinia Stamps, and the name of this stamp is Indra, I-N-D-R-A. And I'll be using some sentiments from the Simon Says stamp set, the Big Thanks. I have my Misty tool, my heating tool, and a towel for cleanup. So I'm going to start with this patterned paper. I decided to use this paper for the black moth that I'll be stamping. So I'm just going to remove the stamp, I'm going to position it, and I'm going to stamp it in the Versamark ink. I'm sorry, the VersaFine. I keep mixing up the two. The VersaFine is the black ink. It's a pigment ink, so it stays a little wet on the surface. So it gives me just enough time to pour some clear embossing powder over it so I can heat emboss that and give it some texture and shine. These cards are going to come together very quickly, you will notice that. So while I'm stamping this up, I just want to talk about the actual Stamp Wars. It was so much fun. If you have not seen it, I will link Nancy's channel down below, and I will also link the channels of the two lovely ladies that were also part of the Stamp Wars. It was Noelle and Elizabeth, and I'll have their channels linked below. And basically the concept, if you don't know, we were sent this stamp, except we didn't know what this stamp was. It was in a discreet packaging, and we had to hold on to it until the day of the Stamp Wars, and we had to open it live during the Stamp Wars filming. So we opened it up, we saw it. I think we were all pretty much excited about it because it's a gorgeous stamp. And then we were told about the rules. We had to make a square card, and we also had some sabotages because, you know, we weren't nervous enough. So they added some sabotages along the way. The first one was that we could not use our paper trimmer. Mind you, this was the first time ever in life that I made a square card. So in the midst of the panic of just doing the Stamp Wars period, I had to figure out math and stuff. Yeah, lovely. So we couldn't use a paper cutter for the first 20 minutes, and then we had to incorporate the color teal into the card, and then we also had to add glitter to the card. So those were the sabotages along the way. There were three of them. The Stamp Wars is 1 hour. You're given 1 hour to create a card. And yeah, so it was a ton of fun. You should really go ahead and take a look at the replay. You won't regret it. It's a lot of fun. And they do Stamp Wars. Nancy is part of the FSC Club. She's the founder of FSC, which is the Foiling Snobs Club on Facebook, which I will link that below as well. And so every month, so far, it's been every month they get together and they do a Stamp Wars with the admins and everyone in the group. It's just great fun. It's really just an awesome time. You won't regret it. So, okay. So here I am, I heat embossed it in the clear, and now I'm putting it back in my Misty to stamp out the sentiment. And on this card I decided to use Sending You Lots of Hugs. This stamp set from Simon Says Stamp has some really good sentiments, you know. Of course, they're all kind of themed around being thankful and things of that nature, but this is kind of a generic sentiment here, sending you lots of hugs. I think we all kind of need a hug nowadays with, you know, the situation and the state of the world at the moment. So I thought this was appropriate. So I'm just lining that up there, pick it up with my Misty, and I am going to stamp it out with the VersaFine, the black ink. And I will also be embossing the sentiment in the clear as well. So I just, since this is, the pattern paper is just kind of set up for you already. It's already done. So it makes it really simple, easy, and quick to just put together a card. So instead of just stamping it flatly, I just thought with the embossing, it gives it a little bit of texture and it also gives it a little bit of shine, which adds interest to what you're looking at. So I'm going to do that. Here I am putting the clear embossing powder, and I'll just heat that up and melt that down. Now I am speeding up this video, but not very much. In real time, it took me exactly 30 minutes and 31 seconds to film this. From beginning to end, doing both cards, doing, the intro was showing you the supplies I'm using, everything. So this is very quick, very easy. So I'm just taking this now and I'm going to glue it to a layering piece. I thought since I'm stamping everything in black, it would be nice to just add a little black trim around the back. So I'm using black cardstock to do the layering piece here, and I'm using wet glue because it gives me a little bit of time. As you see here, I wasn't lined up, so it gave me a little bit of wiggle room so I could really line it up and make it even all the way around. And I just put that down, and I just love the little just tiny trim around the black, around the front panel with the black. It just makes it kind of pop a little bit, and then putting it on the white card. So I really like this look. And again, I'm using the liquid glue. I'm gonna put that down, and then once I am done with that, I am just going to take some, you can leave it like this and it's great. I think that really looks nice. I like that it pops, it stands out, and it's a flat card, so I really like that. But I thought it'd be nice to add some sequins. If you don't have sequins, you can kind of spray this with some shimmer spray and just add extra interest that way. Or like I said, you can absolutely just leave it alone. But I need practice with embellishments. I'm not going to get any better working with them unless I practice. So I figured I'd pull out my sequins, and these are iridescent, so it doesn't really take away from the card. It just adds a little something, a little bling, a little interest. So I'm just gluing those down with a little bit of the liquid glue, and then this card is done just like that. And then we're gonna move on to making the second one. Now basically the steps are pretty much all the same, with the exception that I am going to emboss the butterfly in silver, so I'll be using the Versamark ink for that. And there it is. Look how pretty. Oh, this moth is just gorgeous. I was super excited when I saw that. The minute I opened the envelope, it was just the ideas were running through my head. And yeah, I was really happy with it. It was fun. It really was fun. I was really quiet because I was so focused and nervous. But if I am ever blessed with the opportunity to partake in it again, I will try to just be a little bit more relaxed and try to enjoy it even more than I did the first time around, and be more, talkative and interactive with the audience. So here I'm lining it up now in the other direction. I figured I would change the direction here on this paper. And this is another sheet that was provided by Nancy from Nancy Stamps. She sent a couple pieces of the pattern paper along with the stamp itself, that it just gave us an option to use if we wanted in the Stamp Wars. But I decided to do my own thing for that. So I'm stamping it with the Versamark. And I was only going to do it once. It was a pretty good impression, but I figured let me just make sure I didn't want to put the embossing powder and then have a spot that I didn't notice that wasn't stamped well. So I just go over it one more time to make sure it's a good impression. And then I'm just going to take this and pour all the lovely silver embossing powder over it. I thought the silver would be really nice with the colors of this background, with the blues and the greens. I just thought it'd be really nice to do it in silver. And it was. You'll see as it melts down, the detail, it's just gorgeous. So I'm going to clean up. I haven't spilled any embossing powder, guys. Yes. I am so paranoid now since since I lost half of my clear embossing powder in my last video, if you saw that. Oh, what a mess. So here I am. I'm taking my heating tool and I'm just going to melt this down, all this loveliness, and you'll see it kind of come to life as it melts down. It's so cool. I'll never get tired of watching embossing powder melt. It really is so awesome. And it takes very little effort. There's really nothing to it. Stamp your image and pour that powder on. Although I must say it is very important that you use an anti-static tool, which is something that I still struggle with. I just kind of jump in and sometimes I forget to use it. So it is important that you use that just to avoid any sticking. So now I'm putting it back in my MISTI to go ahead and use Stamp My Sentiment. Now I was thinking of heat embossing the sentiment with the silver as well, but I don't know, I kind of felt like it would just kind of get lost, so I decided to stamp it in black. So I used the VersaFine ink again just for the sentiment, and this sentiment says a note to say thanks. So this is a little thank you card, which I think, again, I mean, this stamp can be used for anything, for birthday, for thank yous, for anything at all. It's just so beautiful. And the card kind of just makes itself with this. I mean, that's the piece de resistance, as they say. So yeah, I did it in black, and then for this one I decided, like I did with the other one, since the moth was in black, I used a black cardstock behind it for the layering piece, but in this case, since I'm doing it in silver, I cut some silver cardstock that I had to size, and that's going to be my layering piece, just to make it pop. So I line that up, just like that. And again, you can absolutely just leave this just like this, but I decided to keep working on that whole embellishment situation. So I'm gonna put this onto my card base, and then you'll see me pull out some silver sequins, and the tip was clogged there, so I just squeezed it to the side. So I'll glue this down, and then I'll take the silver sequins and just add a little bit of that, and that's it. The card is done. Super simple, super quick, but super beautiful. I really, I love this stamp. I love it. So happy and so grateful to Nancy for, first of all, asking me to be a part of the first ever Stamp Wars Littles, and for sending and choosing this stamp. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. I love it. So thank you, Nancy, if you're watching. And yeah, think of me for the next one. I'd love to play a part in it again. It was just so much fun. So I line those up, and then I'll just be gluing them down. And that's it, guys. 2 cards in 15 minutes on this video, but it took me 30 minutes to make them in real time, which is not a lot of time. I have spent over an hour on just one single card. So to be able to put together 2 cards in 30 minutes is, I think that's great. You know, that takes no time. But it helps that I had the pattern paper. That saves a lot of time, not having to make your own background and build your own background. And here they are. I love them. Love, love, love them. I love the way they came out. So that's it, guys. So thank you for watching. Like I said, I'll have everything linked below. And if you're not subscribed, please do so and leave a comment and like the video. And if you are subscribed, you already know. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much, guys.